It's Nolan.
Give me space. When I walk into the place, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Okay, I be the Black Avenger, more greater than Alexander. Number one contender, more money in my agenda. Be the king of my castle, enjoying all of the splendor. Yo, shout this on me on Tinder, she might be gone to November. That's my old life, Chick-fil-A waffle fries on my bull bites. Creeping through the street, shit, I'm finna have me a whole wife. Niggas still searching, I'm ghosting ladies like poltergeist. And got they smell up off me like Old Spice, you know I'm right. Hey, that's a damn shame. I don't be rocking name brands, I'm a brand name. That's how the cash came. Put some money on myself and made a bet. Had my bills stuck in jeopardy like a Malik Trebek. I put my life in these 16s. Always they chapel like the 16. Everything clean, shining on pristine. But try to play me my sick team. Got in for greens, digging for that gold like 3 kings, my nigga. Give me room, give me space. When I walk into the place, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Wait, give me room, give me space. When I walk into the place, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody is doing well. You know what I'm saying? Hope you're having a blessed time. All that good stuff. In today's video, we're going to be addressing Mr. Steve Stoute, okay? AKA the Commissioner. Yeah, y'all remember from the 90s? Commissioner Steve Stoute. Today, he is CEO of United Masters, which is one of the premier self-serve music distribution companies out there. They're constantly, recruiting independent artists and stuff. I know a couple folks over at UM, so no beef, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't always agree with Steve, but shout out to the team over there. They got some good folks, right? Nonetheless, he recently stopped by the Joe Budden podcast, and they wanted to address a few different subjects throughout the conversation. Number one, he spoke on Drake versus Kendrick. Of course, this is one of the hottest topics in hip-hop, probably the hottest topic in hip-hop in 2024. Anybody that's tired of the discourse, conversation, debates back and forth about the Drake versus Kendrick battle, you might as well buckle up your seatbelt, because this is going to be spoken about for years to come. This ain't going nowhere. This shit is the biggest I said it before. This is the biggest battle in hip-hop history. I don't give a fuck. I love Jay and Nas, right? They're both in my top 5 if I were to create one. Or maybe they not, but they in my top 10, right? But, yeah, I lived through it, right? But they did not have social media by their side. What they had was New York-centric radio stations, and they had mixtape DJs that spread the music out. With this shit is instantaneous. Niggas was locked in on fucking YouTube, Instagram, or Spotify. Wherever they was gonna get the music from, niggas was locked in for weeks, right? Niggas had to wait damn near a year to get a response back from Takeover to goddamn Ether. You know what I'm saying? The shit wasn't like that. Now, for the older people, yes, it was epic. But it wasn't like this. I'm sorry. Now, Drake may not be one of your GOATs, which is why you see it differently. And that's cool. But this is where it's at. Okay? So he spoke on Drake versus Kendrick. He also spoke on Elliott Grainge taking over the helm as CEO of Atlantic. This is another hot topic in the music industry. This is definitely what you call music industry mumbo jumbo. You know what I'm saying? About who getting jobs, who's running shit, nepotism, all that good shit. But it's definitely been a big conversation, because a lot of folks are under the impression that Elliott Grainge is totally not qualified for the position, and he's only seeing this level of support behind him because his father is Lucian Grainge, aka the CEO of Universal Music, which is pretty much the backbone of the music industry at this point. Further in the conversation, Steve Stout came out and made a statement that I totally disagree with, but somewhat understand where he's coming from, and we're going to delve into that, to where he says lyrics don't matter in hip-hop. And he wanted to take it a step further and said, to be honest, they never fucking did. Now, that to me, as a lyricist, as somebody who grew up idolizing lyricists, listening to lyricists, and standing behind lyricists when other people may have fallen off the wagon, that shit was triggering for me. Like, bitch, you pushing it. But to be honest, there is a conversation to be had around the subject. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to come around to seeing it exactly how Mr. Stout sees it, but I think I understand where he's coming from, because I've kind of told some people the same thing over the years. If you really just trying to get on via good lyrics only, it's going to be a very uphill battle. And I don't know if you got the right machinery, the right boots, you know what I'm saying? Cliffhanger, Sylvester Stallone shit to get you to your destination if all you coming into the game with is bars. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no musical ear, you ain't got no musical talent, you ain't got no way to manipulate your voice, you just straight up bars only, yeah, it's going to be tough for you, bruh. You might want to go to battle rap. And even then, it's some more shit going on. But we'll get into all that momentarily, all right? We're going to slow walk this shit. Because these are the conversations I like to have, you know what I'm saying? To be honest. All the other drama, the other, you know what I mean? It's cool, it's entertaining, but at my core, I'm about the art. I'm about the, the work and everything that goes into the craftsmanship of this shit. All right? Now, as I always let y'all know, when it comes to Joe Budden podcasts, I do not show the video. It's only audio because copyright. Okay? Just let y'all know that every time, because there's always going to be new people that's going to be like, show the fucking clip, bro. Watch yourself. All right, let's get to it. This is, so we're going to start with his take on Drake versus Kendrick.
The Drake-Kendrick Lamar battle beef has done so much for rap music. And I want everybody to really get that point. Like, forget who won for a second. No. What it's done for the industry, paying attention to fucking bars and paying attention to bars, but also paying attention to the fact that rap music had a spotlight. It hasn't had a spotlight in a minute. Real rap music, not like somebody making shit for radio and some other fake ass shit. I'm talking about like rap records, da-da-da-da. And people was paying attention to that for a minute, for a while, still. And that helps lift the entire industry up. So I think that part is, I think that's very, very important for the hip hop as a whole.
I'm gonna stop him right there. Now, I think that's a very interesting perspective, because I think what it did, and y'all have seen me on my channel, and I've kind of voiced this in a roundabout way, not very, I haven't said it like outright, but y'all can understand the sentiment that what this battle created was energy around two of the top, and I don't give a fuck about all the extra shit, right? In this moment, we talk about the extras, but in this moment, I don't give a fuck about the extra shit. This is two of the top, actually the two top artists, rap artists of the last 2 decades, right? Because these niggas been out since, what? Drake dropped in 2010, Kendrick dropped 2012. Oh, so let's just say past decade, just to be clear, you know what I mean? Although I do think they superseded the niggas from before them too, like the Joel Santanas and stuff like that. But, you still got Wayne, you still got others that were of that. Kanye, I think their legacy, Drake got a lot of stains on his legacy though. But I think Kendrick's legacy in particular, J. Cole's legacy in particular, will probably outshine the niggas from the previous decade, just because they have pretty much spotless records in terms of like personal bullshit, scandal. They just come out, do good music, put on good shows. They come out and, they show up to protests and stuff with no camera crew, masked on. You can't even tell who they are except by looking at their hair and their eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they're contribution in hip hop will eventually be seen higher than a lot of their predecessors. But battle specifically, with Drake and Kendrick, what we saw in real time was two of the titans of the music business in hip hop going back and forth, jousting. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen like a high level joust in hip hop in a very long time. Right? Where it's not like completely lopsided. There's people out there that say Drake can't rap. There's people that said that, you know, the records he put out was whack. But let's not act like we weren't all consumed by that shit, right? Let's not act like we wasn't up at fucking midnight or later trying to see what these niggas was talking about, what type of production they was going to be on, what jabs they was going to be saying. Whether you liked one side or the other, you was tuned in, locked in like a motherfucker, like this was NBA Game 7 finals. And if you weren't, more power to you. You're more elevated than the rest of the crowd. But I'm going to tell y'all, niggas was in my goddamn chat saying, bitch, if you don't get your ass up, if you don't get your ass online and report on this shit, nigga, we are going to whoop your ass. Okay? While I'm laid up, chilling, sleeping, trying to get some, you know what I'm saying, some peace of mind with my family, my shit start buzzing. Hey, nigga, what are you doing? You ain't really dedicated to this hip-hop shit if you ain't talking about this shit, nigga. Where you at? I had to show up. I had to answer the call. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, this was important. This was big. This will be a time that we all look back on in the future and understand how massive it was. Now, getting back to my point. Two premier lyricists in hip-hop going back and forth, jousting, you know what I'm saying, finding angles, finding strategic ways to put out the better song or the more impactful song. And what it ended up doing was, for that little week time that everything was at its height, or really 3 weeks if you count like the antagonizing, the poking the bear and all that shit, the countdown. If you count that, that's 3 weeks. But you take all of that into account, these niggas put out big records. We see Not Like Us is one of Kendrick's biggest records of his entire career. But what it showed us is the elite levels in which a lot of the rest of the field just have not achieved, right? And you can say whatever. Oh, Drake is only elite level because he's got help. All right, shit. We've talked about that. We've talked about the ghostwriting. We've talked about the songs that, you know, he maybe did or did not write. But whomever was in that motherfucking situation contributing to the Drake team OVO shit coming out, it was higher than the rest of the field. Even if you say, man, Drake is whack, Drake's whackness is still eons above a lot of motherfuckers who think they nice or think they're important or think that they doing something special. That's J Nolan saying it. You ain't got to agree. Right? So what it did is now these niggas ain't battling no more. They not putting out, well, Drake is still putting out music. He putting out some subpar ass music. I think he needed that battle to like, I think he wanted that battle to continue. The only reason why it didn't continue is because he got embarrassed in a way that he never expected. He thought that he was gonna bait Kendrick with the PDF shit, but I don't think he fully expected Kendrick to like really go that route. I don't think he expected him to double, triple, and quadruple down on that element on some, yeah, nigga, you want to throw it out there, but I really been researching your bitch ass. Here, I got some more shit. You think I'm done? I got some more shit. You think I'm done? I got some more shit. That nigga said, damn, I can't continue that shit, brother. Ain't no fucking way. I thought we was gonna keep it clean. Nah, nigga, you wanted to be dirty. But honestly, I think he wanted to like keep going in the beginning until he saw the direction it was going. Cause he, with his ego, with his, you know, hubris and all that shit, he wanted to finally prove to the entire hip hop landscape that he could remove Kendrick from his purview, right? Because he had achieved everything. He has the most number ones, the most Billboard entries, the most sales of the last decade. Not most sales of all time. Let's not go there. But, you know what I mean? He has a fucking laundry list of accolades. But no matter how many accolades he achieved, niggas always looked at him with Kendrick Lamar like, nigga, you're everything except that. You couldn't do it off of the merit of your own work, right? From the ghostwriting crowd. You couldn't do it just by making great music that impacts people's hearts and souls. You know what I'm saying? That's the people that listen to Kendrick Lamar front and back and always had that criticism of Drake, right? So he's like, you know what? He's the people's champ. I'm gonna show y'all I can dethrone the people's champ. I've taken everybody else's spot. I've taken everything else. I've filtered out all the juices from every other angle of hip hop. I'm going to remove this nigga. I'm gonna show y'all I could do this shit better than him. He didn't prove it, but that was his goal. So all of that withstanding, battle's over. Niggas is done. Then we get left with a bunch of subpar albums that drop. Bunch of subpar singles. The coming weeks, it just kind of, right? We've had a couple highlights. I think Megan Thee Stallion dropped a solid project. I think JT dropped a couple good songs on her project. I think Lotto dropped a really good project. But as we've seen in hip hop, from the end of that battle, niggas are craving more. Niggas want more. Niggas want better music. Niggas want higher music. I'm niggas. I want more dedication to the craft. I want to play something front to back when you come outside. I don't want no run of the mill, and it don't have nothing to do with beef. It don't have nothing to do with no goddamn, I want to hear diss records. I want to hear high level music. That's what I was accustomed to. And because we had gotten away from that as a culture, and we had gotten away from it as a collective, we've been allowing a lot of shit to just pass. We've gotten into the stage of, we know these new artists ain't great, but let them have fun. We like the beats. It's cool for the party. It gets the brunch going. It does numbers on TikTok. We got all of these different caveats. We have all of these different asterisks next to subpar music, because the moment we start requesting more of the artist, they're not going to be able to answer the call. So we already understood that. But now it's like, what's happening? We see record sales are going down, diminishing, right? The interest ain't there. The appetite, we want good, wholesome. And when I say wholesome, I'm not saying you got to be making goddamn fucking Poor Righteous Teacher music. When I say wholesome, I'm just saying stuff that sticks to you, something that actually makes you want to listen to it for more than 2 days, right? Whether that be trap, whether that be strip club anthems, whatever it is, it just has to elevate. It has to elevate. It has to create conversation. If your music can't create genuine conversation at this point, we see where you're ending up. The appetite is there. It's just that the artists have been lollygagging for so long that niggas don't even know what to do with themselves, right? So I fully understand what Steve Stott is saying here. I agree with him. It definitely put the magnifying glass on actual rap, hip-hop music in a way that hasn't been amplified in a long time, right? And the only time we really get glimpses of that is when a Kendrick Lamar drops an album, a J. Cole drops an album. And these are guys that come back every few years, drop something on your head, maybe go on a feature run, go back inside into their cave, go into their cocoon and say, fuck y'all niggas. Right? Everybody else be out here trying to do backflips and can't even really do a back. We watching niggas do half landed backflips and clapping. Can't pull that shit off at the Olympics, baby. But y'all ain't Olympians. I'm gonna let them finish though.
Because the art form is now in its 51st year, right? And there's new emerging subcultures that are coming fast, that are gonna, replicate some of what it's done and surpass it. you need the stars to be stars. And you need the people to constantly find urgency in the music. Because if you don't find any urgency in the music, then it'll start to dissipate and it'll turn into rock and roll. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you don't want that to happen, right? Because whether it's this podcast or other industries, we all benefit from understanding an art form that is important. Mm-hmm. And if that art form dissipates for any reason, it puts a lot of people's careers in jeopardy.
But do you think that the industry is really pumping out stars? We talk a lot about current music not being made, with longevity in mind. Yeah. So
shout out to Mel getting in on the conversation too. There's a lot of people that be like, Mel just be sitting there goddamn chilling and shit, collecting a check. Shout out to Mel getting in on the convo for once.
Where are we 10 years from now if this continues?
Melissa, you ask a tough question because if there's no artist development, which you guys talk about all the time, and nobody's really investing in putting their arm around these artists, helping them, coach them up, then over time there's not going to be whatever it is. And that's concerning. At the same time, I do believe that as the independents become more profound in being able to break artists and put artists out, and then money will come to independents, investors and things of that nature, then you could actually pour into the artist because you are a much smaller entity and you could afford to do so.
All right. So basically, what he's saying at the end there, because the stars aren't necessarily being developed, is that investors and or the people are going to have to be the ones that actually invest into the development of the artist, right? So this is where we get to like the direct to consumer element of hip hop. This is where we get to the the proud to pay sort of element in hip hop that Nipsey introduced to us, where it's like, nigga, if the industry ain't talking about shit, if I'm at odds with the way that the industry operates, if streaming is not really paying us, then I'm going to give y'all the product y'all been looking for, and I'm going to give y'all that at a premium price. I'm not giving it to y'all for no bullshit. Y'all not finna give me no $2.99 for this shit I put my blood, sweat, tears, and everything into, right? I'm not coming outside for that, but what I will do is offer it to you at a premium price, right? And I may offer it to you on a mixtape site too. But if you really locked in with me, if you really want my stamp on this motherfucker, you gonna buy it directly from me, right? And then you cultivate that audience that says, nah, I'm going to buy it from you. I'm going to invest in your future. I'm invested in who you are. I'm invested into your character. I'm invested into what it is that you represent. Beyond just having musical talent, you have the talent, but I'm also jumping aboard the ship so that wherever you go, I'm rolling with you, right? Similar to what I've done on a smaller level. I'm not trying to compare myself in any way, but I was influenced by that. So I created the Southside Nolan Project, put it on my website. It's available for y'all. The song y'all heard on the intro, Eyes on Straight, comes directly from that project. And in turn, people that follow this channel have actually gone out and proceeded to buy that album, right? I've sold more of that album from entertaining y'all on YouTube than I ever did trying to post snippets of my music on Instagram, right? Or even going to a show, you know what I'm saying, showcase and having shit on hand, right? I've sold CDs in person. I've sold everything, you know what I'm saying, musically. I ain't sold no dope. I know niggas that did. I didn't. I ain't sold no, you know what I mean? I ain't ever put myself on the black market. I'm talking about music. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have shown up and shown out. And that's why I thank y'all all the time. Everybody that pops up on that Squarespace, I see it. I shout y'all out. Everybody that shows up in that Cash App, I shout y'all out. Everybody that sends that super chat, I shout y'all out, because I was on the other side of the game just doing music. And it's like everybody knew this nigga nice, this nigga dope. But all niggas got for you when you nice and when you dope is fire emojis for your comments. And I lived with that shit for a long time. You know what I mean? I've done some cool shit too. But on a day-to-day, that's all I was receiving. So You got to provide value. You got to bring your personality to the table. And that's what I was actually prolonging having to do. But here we are, right? And I believe that's a model that many artists will have to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Not saying you got to do an inside the industry show, but you got to find ways to put yourself, your knowledge, your expertise, your personality, your something that compels people in front of people to make them want to buy into you. And if you don't have that thing, shit, watch out. It's going to get rough. You know what I'm saying? We're in a place now where, hell, I don't like DDG's music, but off his YouTube success, he launched a rap career and has successful music, right? You gotta bring something to the table, and it's gonna require you to show up. It's gonna require you to do more than what you thought the task called for. Okay, so that's the growth of independence, right? You can't just be an independent artist and think I'm finna rap my way out of my situation. You can, but you're gonna have to find creative ways to rap your way out of your situation. You're gonna have to show up somewhere that people wouldn't expect you. You're gonna have to, hey man, if I ain't got a nigga to hold the camera, I'ma have to hold the camera. I'ma have to buy the camera. I'ma have to fucking get the tripod, right? I'ma have to get the camera that can swivel on its own so I could do cool shit. I'ma have to go goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Let me stage a rap battle and act like this shit was authentic and I'm just gonna body this nigga. Yeah, you might have to do some theatrics in order to get people to get in tune with you as well. Something. Y'all niggas ain't listening. Sorry for ya. Now, one of those people who has been investing in artists is Elliott Grainge. Again, he brought in Tekashi 6ix9ine. You will forever be enemy of the state for introducing that nigga to the masses. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that face to face, Mr. Elliott. I don't give a fuck who your daddy is. You will forever be public enemy number one for introducing that debacle to hip hop. Then you followed up with Trippie Redd. I ain't got nothing against Trippie Redd. I just think he's trash. You know, shout out to Trippie Redd, though. Just because I think you're trash don't mean shit. You know what I mean? I'm not your target audience. Okay? Then you came and brought us Ice Spice, which, you know, what more can I say about Ice Spice that I haven't already? Why hasn't anyone sat her down in a meeting and says, hey, would you ever consider stop rapping about literal shit in your bars? You know, I think that's not too much to ask. She's not bringing in enough money for her to keep rapping about shit in her bars. Do you care about any of these people? I don't think you do. Right? So, Steve Stout has some opinions about that. I'm going to go ahead and pull up his clip speaking about the Elliott Grainge taking over Atlantic Records situation. Okay?
Can you explain to me what is going on with all of this reshuffling and reorganizing at Atlantic? And should people be concerned that Elliott Grainge has been placed as whatever fuck CEO, whatever
That's
he is
wild,
over
right?
there? I think that's the wildest thing I've ever heard.
Listen, man. Listen, niggas was worrying about LeBron James' son.
Oh, nepotism. Yeah. Yo. Yeah.
That's the question?
Yeah.
How'd that become? It's like, y'all talk about that?
That's a big
What about
conversation.
that?
I think that that's super scary, but I just can't
And got to keep his company.
Yeah.
What you talking
Yeah.
about?
Forget all of the pluses.
Crazy.
Elliott Grainge is a great A&R kid, right? Great A&R guy. He signed to
Great.
6ix9ine. He signed Trippie Redd.
Ice
He
Spice.
signed
Ice
Spice. Ian Dior.
You have yet to name a name where
Hold on, time out.
Yeah, get that nigga
Artemis. I was just joking. But he did. They had a hit song and that came off of Anime. But he had some joints. You could see why somebody's saying, well, maybe because he's signing these things that are found on the frontline business, right? Things that were found on the internet early, that he knows
Ahead of the curve.
Right, so he's ahead of the curve. So let's give him that job. And these guys are doing it the old-fashioned way, and we don't. And the guy who's running that company came from YouTube, right? So he's seeing it like this is the guy who understands digital media and the digital ecosystem. So let's give him the big job. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but that's the decision he made. And all those people, those talented people who built Def Jam, who built Atlantic, who did all that shit, they're now fucked because, you know, the margins are what the margins are, and this is the decision that this person decided to make. It's no different than what's happening at Universal. It's no different than what's going to happen, you know, at Sony and other all these. It's just a matter of time before it all happens, and it has to correct itself. Mm-hmm. Salaries have to correct themselves. Those big ass salaries, those big ass offices, in the locations that they're in. A lot of them are just eating off the old deals. They're eating off of Metallica's greatest hits and fucking LL Cool J's greatest hits and fucking Public Enemy's reissues. And I'm like, you shouldn't even be eating off of that money anyway. Why don't you just take that catalog business and move that shit to North Carolina and make everybody eat off the new business? What are you signing today? What are you signing now rather than getting paid off of something that you had nothing to do with? Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then if you just ran the business off of that, the salaries would come down. The office space would be different. It'd look like a different company. And the big profit center would be in North Carolina off of the deals that they robbed.
Oh, I like where you going with this shit, Steve. I like where you going with this shit. He said, hey, close the walls in on these motherfuckers, man. These niggas up, and to be honest, working in the music industry, if you work at a label, you already know the margins of profit. You know what I'm saying? The paychecks, they already ain't impressive unless you're one of the higher ups. But he's saying even for the higher ups, move these niggas up out of the legacy play, right? Let's stop letting their salaries be paid off of what niggas did 30, 40 years ago. Let them only eat off of what's currently on the table. I love that so much. And again, I don't be agreeing with Steve on too much. But this conversation here, I'm with you, man. Close the fucking... choke these niggas out, man. Go do some fucking work. Go find somebody, nigga. What that nigga... Then Ransom homeboy pull up on Joe Budden house and slap his homeboy and say, go get that nigga. That's what I want to see the industry do. Go get that nigga, man. Go get some talent, nigga. Put some fucking work in, man. Don't just tell me what's trending on TikTok, man. Niggas know what's trending on TikTok. There's fucking Twitter accounts every day that will tell you what's trending on TikTok. TikTok has their own charts on Billboard now that will tell you what's trending on TikTok. Don't tell me what's over there, nigga. Tell me what's really good. Tell me what's going, you know what I'm saying? If I got an appetite for this type of music, where's the filtration that's going to lead me in that direction? Who's the go-to person that's going to put on the niggas? Because the niggas that put on the niggas back in 2004, 2005, they're sitting in the system still eating off of what they did in 2004, 2005, acting like they doing some shit today. I don't like that shit. Which is exactly why and Elliott Grainge gets to slide up in that motherfucker, no style, no swag, and act like he knows what's going on in hip hop. Next thing you know, what's homeboy Cole Bennett from Lyrical Lemonade, right? First it was a website, then it became a music video production company, right? They doing music videos for Eminem now. They're doing music videos for Big Sean now, all this type of shit. What they're gonna do, and they're doing videos for all them whack-ass TikTok sensation-ass Ian type artists, right? SoundCloud rap artists. What they're going to do is consolidate all of that market share, all of those views that they produced on those music videos, all those artists that they got involved with at a time, what they got involved with them in their formative time. So they were kind of first to, capture them. They're going to use all of that as leverage, and Cole Bennett is going to fuck around and take Lyrical Lemonade, a subsidiary label, to a big label. He's going to work there a couple years, do some shit, and then he's going to fuck around and be some nigga of importance at goddamn Sony, right? He going to parlay that shit into some shit. And it's going to be another situation kind of like Elliott Grainge. And it's going to be, you're going to start seeing all the executives in this hip hop sector are going to be like 32, 33-year-old white guys that you would never even talk to if you seen them on the street. But they're going to be the voice of what's good in hip hop. I don't like that shit. That's just me though.
Motherfuckers of, it'd be sitting over there. I mean, that would at least be a good idea, in my opinion.
And niggas would be hungry to eat what they kill.
And then you would hire, and then, so in that world, maybe Elliott Grainge would be the CEO of a very small company. Right? Of a much smaller company. Yeah. And look, this is all my opinion. I think Elliott's talented. I think there's a lot of talented people in the industry. The economics and the business just isn't working for the
everyone.
business long term. It was great in the short run. Right? It was bad in 2008, 2009. Motherfuckers wasn't streaming. People were still stealing music. CDs weren't selling. And all of a sudden, streaming happened. It started to take hold. It started to move. And then people started making money again. And then, everybody was high. And now the drug's not working. And now you can't find a fucking vein.
I'm riding. I'm riding with you, my nigga. I'm riding. And I ain't saying pause neither. I'm a grown ass nigga, man. So now let's get to the last point. Now this is where the source of contention starts coming up. We're now about to get to Steve Stout saying lyrics don't matter. This is gonna get interesting for me because you were doing so well until we got to this part here. Okay. Let's see how you flip this narrative.
About lyrics. And they're like, nobody cares about lyrics anymore and all this other shit. And I was thinking, it's so funny. It's so easy for an older generation to talk like that. They weren't giving a fuck about lyrics when Nas put out Illmatic. That's why it took 5 years to go gold. They wasn't giving a fuck about lyrics when Young MC didn't take that long to go gold. Or they were buying that shit.
There's always been trash music, and there's always been
Reasonable Doubt took a long time to go off. Look at Reasonable Doubt's first week.
But Illmatic didn't have a funky Cold Medina.
Huh? No. MTV was pushing that shit.
Yeah, all that type of shit. My only point is that you may like lyrics and all that other kind of stuff, and it may be something that you love, but does it make you buy it? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you can't look at generations and go, like this new generation, they don't give a fuck about lyrics. You weren't rewarding niggas who was making lyrics back then.
Good point.
G-Rap didn't get rewarded.
He damn sure did.
I mean, what the fuck that's why they do all that other shit. Because you're not rewarding it. You want it, you say it in your heart. That's why Jay said on the album, you want to buy my old shit, buy my old albums. Mm-hmm. You don't want to hear me go forward, buy my old shit then if I'm rapping in a way you don't like. Because you weren't fucking there anyway. Mm-hmm. And people have bad memory on that stuff.
So what do you think, if I'm an artist today, or I'm an artist and I'm sitting with my team, what do you think the main points are for the consumer to actually purchase something versus just giving it a quick stream? Like, what are consumers looking for from their artists?
You know what? We that deal in which no artist was in the room, right? That 0.00003 cent thing has devalued music, right? It's
all right. Steve said it took Illmatic damn near 5 years to go platinum. Blase blah. And I mean, you're not lying. I mean, you would know very intimately because you helped construct It Was Written with Nas, and the track masters and all them niggas. So of course you helped him up his shit. We're gonna credit you for that. But I think that also lends credibility to when you put out quality music, it continues to grow over time. It continues to live on. Illmatic is still the fucking crown jewel of hip hop today. When niggas want to, you know what I mean? If I were to go to space right now and an alien asked me, what is hip hop? I'm turning on Illmatic and letting that bitch play beginning to end. Even the songs that I don't listen to every time, I'm playing that shit to give them the barometer of what hip hop is. That is hip hop. He is the culmination of the past, present, and future of hip hop on this particular album. Period. Right? Which is why it continues to remain successful today. Which is why it gets, you know what I'm saying? Which is why when we got a Good Kid, Mad City, people said this is the Illmatic of the new generation, right? But without the original, there's nothing to compare it to, and there's no standard. You got to set a standard, right? You say Cool G Rap. Cool G Rap, yes, amazing lyricist, right? Some people said Nas was, you know, kind of biting off the hand that Cool G Rap brought to hip hop once upon a time. But what Cool G Rap did not have a lot of is viable music that could be played in settings outside of a fucking dope house. Cool G Rap was talking about selling crack to pregnant chicks. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about selling crack on every song in the most, you know what I'm saying? There was like elegant ways of selling crack in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? But then you had G-Rap. You know what I'm saying? Buck, take that with you on the way down. Like, he was really like busting niggas' heads and shit, man. So if he would have made more commercial music, and I don't mean sellout, but if each album had 15 songs on it and he put 3 or 4 that was geared towards, all right, what are regular everyday people going to like from me? To where I could still rap, I could still get my shit off, but it be played in settings outside of goddamn the tunnel in New York or the clubs where niggas gonna get their ass beat before they even make it to the bouncer. He would have seen more success. This is no shots at Cool G Rap. This is just coming from a nigga that knows hip hop. Right? Wu-Tang into 36 chambers. Sold 30,000 its first week. Right? This is reality. 1993 sold 30,000 copies first week. 2 years later, certified platinum. 2018, certified triple platinum. So that tells you the lifespan of the music has continued to live on from 1993 to the last update was 2018. We in 24 now. So I'm sure it has continued to grow from there. It might be damn near 5 times platinum. They just haven't gone and got their certification for it. But the music has lived on for 3 decades. That's the barometer. That is what hip hop is supposed to be. Right? But niggas don't want to take the chance of putting out the musical masterpiece. But again, you still gotta have some shit that niggas can play outside of just the goddamn street corner. In 93, you could play Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With on the radio because it got niggas going. Why you think Method Man was so successful out of the group? That nigga went and did some shit with Mary J. Blige. Shit, nigga, let's get to that motherfucking radio. Now, of course, there was some influence. It wasn't his idea to do that. Right? Wasn't his idea to do it, but because he did it, it changed the trajectory of his career so much so he wanted to make himself ugly. The women got so involved with meth, he said, man, I don't even, God damn it. This ain't what I wanted. I'm not trying to be out here like Shamar Moore. I want to be fucking Method Man. 2024, Method Man out here thirst trapping daily. See what the power do. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, he was the most mainstream out of the entire crew because he had crossover records. Just telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? It don't mean that you gotta fucking change who you are. You just gotta expand. Get some sound. Get some fucking ears. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you want to just rap all day, you might want to take your ass to a battle league and try to work your way up and see if you could get to Smack URL one of these days. That shit is kind of shit. That's volatile today. We don't know what the future holds for battle rap. We got niggas that can't, you know what I'm saying? Niggas getting kicked out of leagues. Niggas getting put in goddamn 360 contracts in battling now to where they can't even go back to Smack because they in legal battles. Some niggas are being restricted to where they can't go get a bag nowhere else. Like, the battle game done turned into the music industry. So where can you go and just be bars and really make it happen? I gotta agree with Steve Stout. I disagree with the way he positioned it, but I understand the destination that you was going. Right? But I will say, there's plenty of lyricists that got platinum albums. There's plenty of lyricists that got timeless albums that sold records. You know what I'm saying? There was once upon a time when motherfuckers was, you had Mos Def at one point in time was selling records, got gold albums. Talib Kweli had gold albums. You know, I don't agree with a lot of shit he be on either today. Let's remember what Kanye did for backpack rap. You know what I'm saying? He helped turn backpack rap into a mainstream genre with College Dropout. Very successful album. Another nigga I don't agree with very often today. Right? Even if you go back in time, look at the Fugees, right? They have the lyrics from Clef and Lauren, but then they had the song structure. I always use them as a perfect example as to why they were so successful, because they had musicality and they had bars. When you marry those two concepts and you do them at the highest level, you get the highest level of success. Why do we think, I hate to say it, but why do we think Drake was able to do what he's done and have Lay of the Land for so long? There was a point in time where he had the bars, the lyrics, the production, and he had the melodies. His output has decreased in terms of quality, but during his height, he was the nigga. Right? Notorious B.I.G. We could go on for so many others, right? Ready to Die. It took some time to like really hit the way that it was supposed to hit. Album number 2, Life After Death. What the fuck did Biggie go do? I'm gonna take these lyrics. I'm gonna take this blueprint of my style, right? But we gonna goddamn elevate this shit. Yeah, we gave y'all one more chance and goddamn Juicy on the first one, right? Still timeless records. But that nigga went back and said, Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. And I'm going back to Cali. Right? Whole nother vibe. Whole nother, oh shit, I ain't know you was gonna come like that. Of course, we'll never know exactly how it was gonna do without the controversy of his death. But the formula was there that said, all right, we about to up this shit, nigga. We need to take your talent, your skill, and put it in front of a bigger audience. That's all I'm saying. Too many examples I could go through if we really want to talk about it, right? But I think I've kind of laid it out enough. Even a Big Pun, one of the toughest, hardcorest rap. If you really listen to Capital Punishment, that nigga was bodying niggas on every record. But oh, Candrea, my friend. Yeah. T.S. I don't want to be a player no more. How many of y'all had I'm Not a Player? You know what I mean? The original version from Big Pun. dope song, dope lyrics. That remix with Joe, out of here. And that nigga was still spitting on that beat. Right? Y'all niggas need to take notes, man. You got to understand your past to understand where you're going. Y'all niggas just trying to create a whole new playbook out of fucking thin air. That's why y'all niggas is in the wind. All right? So I do think that there is hope yet. But y'all niggas got to put the work in. Y'all niggas got to really study the craft. Y'all got to understand where this shit came from. Right? And that means that you also don't got to fucking sample just because you go back and listen to it. You don't got to say, oh shit, I want to remake that and put some new drums on it. No, eat a dick. Leave it alone. Learn from it. Learn the form. Don't take it. God damn. Man. So all that to say, I think lyrics will always matter. It's really up to us, the people, the general public, the listeners, to demand more. To demand better production, to demand better lyrics, to demand better videos, right? To demand quality. And I think the dissipating record sales that we're seeing today, going into next year, going into the year after that, I think the flash in the pan shit, if it's not selling, they're going to have to start recruiting motherfuckers that can actually stand up for longevity and put more campaigns into the music to say this is a 2-3 year investment rather than a let's just drop it and see what it do. Y'all let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.